Any good detergent can get out dirt, but stain? Gain. Stain. Gain. Gain not only gets out tough dirt, but just look how Gain out-cleaned another leading detergent on a chocolate custard stain. No detergent gets out everything, but Gain special enzymes get out lots of stains that other leading detergents can leave in.
Mom.
Oops! Stain. Gain.
I've learned a lot about feeling fresh from my mother, but she's learned a lot about convenience from me. Like Massengill disposable douche.
These disposables were new to me. They certainly are convenient.
Pre-mixed and pre-measured. Sure does save time. Refreshing, too.
Well, you can trust Massengill to make a good product.
No wonder the Massengill disposable is so refreshing and convenient. It comes from a good family.
Hiya, Larry. What you got there?
I'm selling corn.
Larry's corn.
I got my name on there 3 times.
Oh, I see.
3 times means you can't buy better.
Is that so?
Yeah, this corn tastes like it just came off the cob. Only sweet and tender, crisp and golden.
And it's better than Libby's, right?
Nope.
Libby's. 3 of the best names in the business.
Welcome to the Bull Museum's here sitting bull. The original bull's eye and the most famous bull. Symbol of fine quality, the Schlitz malt liquor bull. This way, please.
Look out for the bull. Look out for the Schlitz malt liquor bull.
To the best bull in the house.
Nobody makes malt liquor like Schlitz. Nobody makes malt liquor like Schlitz.
Nobody.
Add hot water to delicious soup and noodles in a cup. In 3 minutes, a fantastic meal idea. Chicken, beef, or pork. Soup and noodles in a cup from Maruchan.
Meet Karen, my first baby. I'm so proud. I want to keep her clean from her nose to her toes. A new mother learns fast. I've learned that all cotton swabs are not Q-tip swabs. Compare Q-tips with the next selling swab. Watch. Q-tips have more soft cotton at the very tip, 50% more, so Q-tips are softer. I can feel the difference. If it doesn't say Q-tips, it isn't Q-tip swabs.
I'm not going to Orbax anymore. Sure, they've given me the fashion, the dazzle, and it was worth the drive, but I'm not going to Orbax anymore. Orbax has come to me.
And Orbax has come to you. It's in the Glendale Galleria. To celebrate, all Orbax have grand opening specials like ladies' imported leather shoes and handbags at 30% off. Come to the grand opening, but you don't have to go all the way to Orbax because Orbax has come to you.
Orbax, you'd follow me anywhere.
Know what it's like every day when you splash on G-Nate? It's
exhilarating, scintillating, stimulating.
G-Nate is like that every day.
Breathtaking, invigorating.
G-Nate is like that every day.
Electrifying, awakening, exhilarating. G-Nate.
It's like that every day.
The veterinary profession reports millions of dogs and cats are starving. Over 40,000 surplus pets must be humanely put to death every day. Stop orphan pet starvation and death. Give to the Animal Birth Control Research Foundation, Box 2577, Hollywood 90028. Thank you.
Since Vaughn slashed prices in 1974, we've kept our promise of low price leadership. In fact, independent consumer surveys show Vons continues to be among the lower priced of all major supermarkets. But we want you to prove it to yourself. Check our ad. Low price leadership. We've earned it.
Chuck roast blade cut beef, only 49 cents a pound at Vons.
Hurry to Woolworth and Woolco for the semi-annual sale of our entire stock of pantyhose and nylons at 20% off our regular low prices. 20% off on sheer nude look stretch pantyhose. On sale 77 cents. 20% off on outsize pantyhose for fuller figures. On sale 99 cents. 20% off on knee-high nylons with stay-up bands. On sale 37 cents. 20% off on our entire stock of first quality pantyhose and nylons. Satisfaction guaranteed at Woolworth and Woolco.
Oh,
night. I'm being held captive in this tower. Rescue me!
Not now. I'm right in the middle of a Rothschild's.
People are finding Rothschild's candy so rich, so uncommonly rich, nothing else seems to matter. Rothschild's crunchy butterscotch, chewy fruit jellies, creamy toffee, all uncommonly rich.
Courage, m'lady. I'm ready to rescue you.
Not now. I'm right in the middle of a Rothschild's.
Rothschild's candies, uncommonly rich.
Well, that's quite an improvement, let me tell you.
We asked some folks to try new moisture-tasting breakfast squares.
The other breakfast squares were dry. I like this better.
It's really good. When I say it's good, it's good.
Breakfast squares. It's always been a great idea. A complete light meal and 2 frosted bars. Now, they're moisture-tasting. Great tasting.
They're good. They're really terrific.
New moisture-tasting breakfast squares. Smart eating in this busy world.
It's good.
As a mother of 5 children, Julie Grayson knows that eating well depends on top-quality meat.
At Ralph's, I'm not only concerned about prices. I'm concerned about quality, too. That's why Ralph's new Golden Premium Quality Controlled Meats feature USDA choice beef exclusively. And Ralph's guarantees you satisfaction, or your money back.
Try Ralph's new Golden Premium Meats. Then call Julie Grayson with your comments and suggestions.
This is Wella Cholesterol. It's the salon-type hair conditioner that I use, and it's terrific. If you're like me and you wash your hair every morning, it can really be hard on it. Soak in the sun or salt water, even pool chemicals. Cholesterol works for me. And if your hair is dry or if it's brittle, it can give it back a great healthy look and leave it silky and shiny. Why don't you try Wella Cholesterol? You'll love your hair.
Can a good wine be refreshing? Esprit says yes.
Esprit, the fresh new flavored wine. Taste its fresh light splash of lime. Esprit, light splash of lime. Esprit for you. Esprit for
At last, there's a wine for the rest of us. New Esprit, a light splash of lime, a wave of refreshment. Esprit, a good wine that's really refreshing.
light splash of lime. Esprit.
This week, TV Guide explains a fall phenomenon, World Series jitters. Read how pressure affects performance in TV Guide.
You can count on the LA Fire Department if you ever have an emergency, but do you know about the job they do to prevent emergencies? I'm John Hambrick, and these are free booklets on precautions you can take with electrical wiring, fire extinguishers, landscaping, and much, much more. Why not call or stop by at your nearest LA fire station? They want to help you help yourself.
I guess I'm what you call a success. That's okay. I don't have to look for bargains, but it never hurts when you find one.
You win with Winston Tires all around.
I made a marvelous discovery. Hair Away for Delights and Hair Away Facial. Hair Away removes the hair instantly for 1 full month. Yes, for 1 full month, because it removes the whole hair. And when hair eventually come in, they are pure and baby soft. Try Hair Away. Takes only minutes a month for a soft, stubble-free skin, and you will notice the difference.
In the average TV set, over 1,000 different things can go wrong. And as your set grows older, you've probably danced around every one of them. That's why Sharp invented the Sigma 500 chassis. 3 IC chips replace about 500 parts. 500 fewer parts to go wrong. And that's why we think Sharp is the best engineered color TV in the world. The Sigma 500 chassis. It makes Sharp the one to watch.
You can watch Sharp Color TV at Bengal Furniture Store.
Your Southern California Oldsmobile dealer has the King of the Hill. America's #1 selling car, the remarkable Oldsmobile Cutlass. Good looks, practical size, economical operation, and that incomparable Oldsmobile ride. See for yourself what makes Cutlass the King of the Hill. Test drive America's #1 seller at your Southern California Oldsmobile dealers.
The secret of good soup is good home-style stock.
Well, that secret has been captured first time ever in a remarkable new 10-second soup called Soup Time. Somehow they've created a home-style stock just for soup time, the kind that brings out all the downright goodness of fine meats and vegetables. It's surprising the difference home-style stock makes. Taste the new Soup Time instant soups from Nestle.
Builder's Emporium, Builder's Emporium, for folks who like to do things.
Save $8 on this quick set lock and deadbolt set. Full 1-inch deadbolt throw for top security. Yours now for just $14.99. A Builder's Emporium super value in family protection. Save $40 to $50 now on decorative bathroom vanity cabinets with cultured marble tops. Just $99.99 for your choice of Queen Anne or heirloom design through Saturday.
Builder's Emporium.
Natural gas shortage is getting worse. And until we get new supplies, conservation is our only hope. So be sure to cover your pots and pans when you cook. You can save enough gas each year to make 2,000 cups of coffee, and that's just for one home. If all our customers in Southern California cooked with their pots and pans covered instead of uncovered, enough gas could be saved in 1 year to cook all the meals for every person in a city the size of Santa Ana for over 2 years. Energy is our business. Conserving energy is everyone's business.
Tate's fried chicken's terrific, and it's crisp.
I know.
Really crisp.
I know.
It's great chicken, Shane. It's crisp, not greasy.
Right. The crisp goes in the chicken because Crisco oil stays in the pan. All the oil? Almost. Watch. I'll measure the Crisco oil, then fry 4 pieces. Allow for chicken fat and... Oh. Crisco oil stays in the pan. All except 1 tablespoon.
That's why it's crisp.
I know. The crisp goes in the chicken because Crisco oil stays in the pan.
Wednesday night at 8:15, a Movie 7 special. Cary Grant and Eva Marie Saint in an Alfred Hitchcock shocker.
Very clever with words. Could probably make them do anything for you. Sell people things they don't need. Make women who don't know you fall in love with you.
I'm beginning to think I'm underpaid. North by Northwest stars Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, and James Mason. Wednesday night at 8:15 on Channel 7.
Friday night at 9 o'clock, see Tony Curtis as the Boston Strangler. The Boston Strangler, a Movie 7 special, starring Tony Curtis, Henry Fonda, and Sally Kellerman. Friday night at 9 o'clock on Channel 7. This week on the Saturday Night Movie, Leslie Caron is Gigi, the most beautiful girl in Paris.
While you were trembling on the brink, was I out yonder somewhere blinking at a star? Gigi. Thank heaven. Oh, little girl.
Gigi stars Leslie Caron, Louis Jourdan, and Marie Chevalier, Saturday night at 11:30 here on Channel 7.
Weekday mornings at 9, your phone is a direct line to the experts on AM Los Angeles. Experts like baby doctor Lendon Smith, handyman Al Carroll, interior designer Phyllis Morris, astrologer Joyce Gilson, makeup artist Daniel Eastman, and psychologist Dr. Irene Casorla. Your phone is a direct line to Regis, Sarah, Bob, and the experts. Weekday mornings at 9 on Channel 7. Tuesday night at 8:15, George Peppard goes for glory in pursuit of the Blue Max.
You can get me transferred, can you? Do you think I came all this way to run off to Switzerland with you?
You gambled your life for me one Swiss Willie.
That was about flying, Katie, not about you.
The Blue Max stars George Peppard, James Mason, and Ursula Andress. A Movie 7 special Tuesday night at 8:15 on Channel 7.
Did you see who stole that potato?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be a witness?
Okay.
See? Fred ain't no stool pigeon. He's a witness. There's a difference. It don't take a lot of courage to lay back and keep your mouth shut. What takes class is to stand up and be counted. If you see a crime, don't be a pigeon. Be a witness. Ain't that right?
This week, TV Guide explains a fall phenomenon, World Series jitters. Read how pressure affects performance in TV Guide.
George Peppard stars. Tomorrow night at 8:15. And now a Channel 7 editorial.
Proposition 3 and 12 on the November ballot are companion measures. Proposition 3 authorizes $25 million worth of general obligation bonds to finance Proposition 12, low-interest loans to homeowners for installation of solar heating and insulation in residences. The intent is commendable. In the face of mounting energy shortages, they would encourage savings of energy. Since the growing shortages will result in mounting costs, the homeowner will save money in the long run. The problem we see is one we have stressed earlier. Solar heating is a new field. No standards have been set by the state for protecting consumers against shady get-rich-quick operators. It's important that the State Energy Commission take that action. Regulatory standards have been prepared by various groups, but as yet have not been officially adopted. We support the energy-saving intent of Proposition 3 and 12, but we feel they are premature. First the standards, then low-cost loans to consumers. We suggest you vote no on Proposition 3 and 12 on November 2nd. I'm John Severino.
Good morning. I'm Len Beardsley, and this is the sign-off edition of Eyewitness News. The Ventura County District Attorney's Office says it's investigating more than 100 deaths at Camarillo State Hospital over the past 3 years. Assistant District Attorney Mike Bradbury said Monday that manslaughter and murder charges may be filed as a result. Bradbury said his office is going to take a hard look at 79 of those deaths, which have been caused by drug overdoses, asphyxiation, or negligence. Bradbury said the investigation has been underway for 8 months, and he hopes to have it completed by the end of the year. Camarillo State Hospital was the target of another probe last year by the State Department of Health into alleged cases of physical abuse and violation of patients' rights. And Assemblyman Art Torres has called for an investigation into possible patient abuses at Norwalk's troubled Metropolitan State Hospital. The Democrat from Monterey Park says he's seeking a probe spearheaded by the Assembly Criminal Justice Committee, of which he is the vice chairman. Several hospital employees reportedly have told Torres that abuses, including illegal drug dispensing, sexual overtures to patients who are minors, and denial of food to other patients, abound at the hospital. More than 150 concerned parents and students turned out last night in apparent support of school board member Howard Miller's move to cancel out a racial survey of students in the Los Angeles School District. They carried signs reading, "Race human, we are not state property, and leave us alone." Miller had introduced the motion last week, seeking to rescind plans for today's review of the student population. The survey would store information about individual students, their race and ethnic background, as well as individual addresses. Miller has claimed that such classification is contrary and odious to the principles of American society. However, the Los Angeles City School Board voted 3-2 to proceed with the district-wide racial and ethnic survey scheduled to be taken today. A protest by Pacoima and other San Fernando area parents over removal of long-term substitute teachers from their schools ended happily Monday with disclosure that many of the instructors won't have to be transferred after all. Mrs. Jean Miller, she's the chairperson of the Advisory Council of Pacoima Elementary School, has voiced fears last week that the substitutes, some of whom have worked as long as 9 years, would be replaced by contract teachers less familiar with the community. Now, for instance, at the Vaughn Street Elementary School in San Fernando, 7 out of 23 teachers would have been affected. 5 other schools faced similar problems of varying degrees. The difficulty arose, according to school officials, because dwindling enrollments made it impossible to maintain full staffs. However, Mrs. Miller said she has now received word that because of an increased number of students, some of the substitutes' jobs would be saved. Former Agriculture Secretary Earl Butz says the Republican Party has trouble getting the black vote because of ethnic coalitions created during the Franklin Roosevelt administration. The former secretary has made the comment in answer to the same question which, when asked by singer Pat Boone on a plane trip from the GOP Kansas City convention, cost Butts his job. On that occasion, Butts answered with a racial remark and what he thought was a private moment. The remark was later reported by Rolling Stone magazine correspondent John Dean, and Butts resigned under fire. Butts, however, has refused to elaborate on the remark he made to Boone, only admitting it was indiscreet, but claiming it was taken out of context. He also says U.S. farmers should vote for President Gerald Ford because AFL-CIO President George Meany has too much influence over Jimmy Carter. Butts also recommends defeating California's Proposition 14, the farm labor proposal, saying it sets a dangerous precedent. Meanwhile, a group of black elected officials has denounced the president for allowing former Secretary of Agriculture Earl Butts to speak on behalf of the Ford administration. Saying the black vote could sway the election of either Ford or opponent Carter, the group says Butts' local appearances are a direct affront to the black community. Among those who have spoken out are Congresswoman Yvonne Braithwaite Burke, Los Angeles City Councilman David Cunningham, and State Senator Nate Holden. A 7-year-old Lenox area girl who had been missing since she left school has been found unharmed, hiding in a closet in her home. Little Denise Ward Keever of West 113th Street had been the object of a door-to-door search by 23 sheriff's deputies. She reportedly had lost her change purse at school and had returned home, but hid in her mother's closet out of fear that she would be scolded. The Viking II lander was successful late Monday in shoving that Martian rock several more inches out of the way in preparation for a weekend test of whether life exists on the red planet. Scientists at Pasadena's Jet Propulsion Laboratory confirmed late yesterday, after receiving a photograph, that the rock had been moved sufficiently. The football-sized boulder was moved by the rock sampler arm around 4:14 p.m., scientists said. Now, the next move will be for the sampler arm to dig a small trench about 1 inch deep and 9 inches long in preparation for a molecular analysis early Saturday morning. Police are trying to identify the body of a young man, clad only in red swimming trunks, found this morning near the beach in Venice. Homicide investigators say the youth, who had long blonde hair and was in his late teens, had what appeared to be a superficial puncture wound in his back. An autopsy is scheduled this morning to determine just how he died. A man who's been identified by police as a terminally ill cancer patient who was fired from Sheraton Universal Hotel is the object of a law enforcement search after a holdup at the hotel Monday morning. Police say the man, wearing his security guard uniform despite being fired from the Sheraton Universal Sunday night, is suspected of taking nearly $35,000 at gunpoint. Authorities quote hotel personnel as saying not only is the suspect a terminally ill cancer patient with 3 months to live, but his wife is also terminally ill with cancer. Republican S.I. Hayakawa has blamed U.S. Senator John Tunney for allowing the Farm Labor Initiative on the ballot. And Tunney replied Monday that Hayakawa was inaccurate and uninformed. Elsewhere in California politics, U.S. Senator Birch Bayh of Indiana began a 3-day campaign, a tour for Democratic presidential nominee Jimmy Carter. Los Angeles City Attorney Bert Pines says mandatory 2-day jail terms for all persons convicted of first-time drunk driving would help cut down a major community problem. Pines told the Los Angeles City Council Monday that drinking drivers are rarely given jail sentences for their first offense. He said judges reluctant to jail first-time offenders has hindered efforts to solve the problem. However, Pines added, if every motorist knows that he or she will spend at least 2 days in jail for drunk driving, well, we are convinced that the incidence of this crime will be drastically reduced in our state and city. Americans spend billions of dollars annually seeking relief from chronic pain, while medical research funds contribute virtually nothing to ease the suffering. And that comment came Monday from the director of a pain research center in Seattle, who was in San Francisco to address the annual meeting of the American Society of Anesthesiologists. Dr. John Bonica said more than $800 million will be spent this year on cancer research alone. But there will not be a single bit of data on the pain, which is more important to the patient than the oncoming death. We'll take a look at news on the national and the international scene after these messages.
ORTHO makes their own mattresses in their own factory. They sell them direct to you from their own showrooms, so you eliminate the middleman's profit. That's why ORTHO sells factory to you and gives you these great buys. Check ORTHO's low prices. This is just a sample of the fabulous buys you'll find at ORTHO in mattresses, convertible sofas, and corner groups. ORTHO has the selection, price, and quality to fit every budget. That's ORTHO, factory to you.
I made a mistake last fall. I thought the flea season ended when summer ended. It didn't. First Duke got fleas, then my family got fleas. In fact, my home had a case of flea festation. We've got the answer this fall. Sergeant Sentry 4 collar. Sergeants invented the flea and tick collar, and Sentry 4 gives long-lasting protection. Even kills ticks.
This fall, protect your whole family from flea festation with Sergeant Sentry 4 collars.
Are you ready for big, brawny fall sweaters? Then we're ready for you at Robinson's. Rough for the country, slick for the city. They're tunics. They're hooded. They wrap. They're almost coats. They zip. In fact, they're just great. Okay, everybody, let's show them the chorus line of sweaters we've got at Robinson's.
Mrs. Santelli of Ohio has a surprise that starts with Jell-O brand gelatin.
Tonight we're going to eat a grasshopper. What? Made with gelatin cubes. It's simple. Just add peppermint to lime-flavored gelatin. Chill some until firm. Cube with a warm knife. Dip in warm water. Add cubes to whipped topping and gelatin. It's a grasshopper, Daddy. Sure. You know what a grasshopper looks like?
Find this recipe in October women's magazines and start with Jell-O gelatin.
95 persons died in the crash of an Indian Airlines jet after it took off from a Bombay airport. Officials say the jet crashed and burned near the end of a runway at Santa Cruz Airport after one of its engines caught fire during takeoff. The plane was taking off on a flight to Madras early Tuesday when it crashed. Initial indications are that nearly all of the 89 passengers were Indian. Emergency crews found much of the plane and many of the bodies charred by fire. Railway officials in Mexico now say 3 of the 17 persons killed in a passenger train wreck near Chihuahua Sunday were Americans. 63 persons were injured, 2 of them Americans, when the passenger train slammed head-on into a freight train. All of the American dead and injured were thought to be from New York City. Officials say the passenger train was running on the wrong track in violation of signals and orders to stop for the freight train. A total of 132 passengers, mostly U.S. and Mexican travel agents and tourists, were aboard the 2-car passenger train en route from central Mexico to the Pacific coast. Reports circulating in Peking say the widow of Chinese Communist Party Chairman Mao Zedong, Chang Ching, has been arrested by the army on charges of plotting a coup. Also reported to have been arrested are 3 of her radical protégés in the Communist Party's Politburo. There's been no official confirmation of the reports, and there's no indication whether they are rumors being circulated by opponents of Chongqing and her supporters. Residents in Peking contacted by telephone from Hong Kong say reports of the arrest began circulating in the city Monday evening and that they were the topic of open conversation Tuesday. Palestinian gunmen raided Syrian embassies in Italy and Pakistan Monday in Rome. 3 men with submachine guns and grenades shot and seriously wounded a diplomat and held 5 hostages for 2 hours before surrendering. Police sources say the attackers had hoped to take the Syrian ambassador hostage and then to present demands to Syria. The ambassador was not present when they attacked. In Islamabad, Pakistan sources say 3 Palestinians were intercepted by police as they attacked the Syrian embassy and the ambassador's residence. Unconfirmed reports say one of the raiders was killed. A PLO spokesman in Beirut say the organization had no connection with either attack. The Arab League mediator in Lebanon, Hassan Sabri Khoury, says Syria, the Palestinians, and moderate Lebanese Christians reached a tentative agreement Monday on a ceasefire. He said the pact will be considered again at another meeting on Wednesday. But Lebanese leftists and some Christian war chiefs did not attend the peace talks, claiming that they would not be bound by any results. More than 50 proposed truces for Lebanon have failed to hold, and continued fighting in the country yesterday added to the fears the new pact would not be effective. Britain's Labour government was challenged on its economic policy in Parliament Monday and won by a vote of 301 to 288. The House of Commons supported Prime Minister James Callaghan. The Labour leadership said the only way out of Britain's crisis was help from trade unions and wages to combat inflation and to keep up pressure on industry to expand. The Conservatives claimed the government had failed to stop the pound from dropping in value, and they said the Labour budget contains the biggest deficit in British history and called for cuts in public spending. On the national front, President Ford is to meet today at the White House with leaders of about a dozen groups representing Americans of Eastern European origin. A Ford spokesman says the president will explain his policy on Eastern Europe. Ford has come under Democratic attack for his declaration last week that the area is not under Soviet domination. Later Tuesday, Ford is to begin a two-day campaign swing through New York and New Jersey. On Monday, Ford held a strategy session at the White House with running mate Robert Dole and other Republican leaders. One who attended the session, Governor Dan Evans of Washington State, said Carter was conducting a mean, nasty little campaign. Evans was particularly critical of a Carter attack on the Eastern European issue. Jimmy Carter told a fundraising dinner Monday night that things changed for the worse for minorities, the illiterate, the ill, the aged, and the unemployed when President Johnson left the White House and Richard Nixon moved in. Carter pledged to bring responsibility back to the Oval Office. Earlier, leaving Chicago, Carter labeled charges that he once had an extramarital affair as seamy, distasteful, and totally untrue. A columnist, Jack Anderson, reported the rumors on television, ABC's Good Morning America, and said they were leaked to him by staffers of the Ford campaign committee. Anderson said he had found no truth to the rumors, and the President Ford committee has denied it spread them. Balloting on the United Auto Workers' proposed contract with Ford Motor Company is expected to be completed today, and officials hope to announce the results of the ratification vote late today or early Wednesday. And there's a chance that the pact will go down to defeat, even if a majority favors it. And that's because the union has given some 25,000 skilled tradesmen veto power. And at last report, the skilled tradesmen were rejecting the contract settlement by a slim margin. The UAW has been on strike against Ford for 29 days. I'll have sports and the weather after these words.
To win a man's love, she left Washington, D.C. society, an untamed woman on the untamed Texas frontier. Paxton Pride is the powerful story of an outlaw's greed, a woman's love, and a man's pride. Paxton Pride is full of all the drama and excitement of the savage American West. Paxton Pride, a pyramid paperback everyone is talking about. Paxton Pride, only $1.95 at a bookstore near you.
Tainted fried chicken's terrific, and it's crisp.
I know.
Really crisp.
I know.
It's great chicken, Jane. It's crisp, not greasy.
Right. The crisp goes in the chicken because Crisco oil stays in the pan. All the oil? Almost. Watch. I'll measure the Crisco oil, then fry 4 pieces. Allow for chicken fat and... Oh. Crisco oil stays in the pan. All except 1 tablespoon.
That's why it's crisp.
I know. The crisp goes in the chicken because Crisco oil stays in the pan.
Take a look at Zodi's.
It's Zodi's annual anniversary sale-a-thon, our biggest, most exciting sales event of the year. Big savings like this unheard of $9.97 Your Choice sale. $9.97 for a 2-quart porcelain on-steel tea kettle. $9.97 for high-fired contemporary-style ceramic table lamps, or $9.97 for Normandy's 7-piece stainless steel copper-clad cookware set. Just $9.97 for a Hamilton Beach 4-quart slow cooker or 1100-watt pro-style dryer, and just $9.97 for the Great American Burger Machine. Quality does cost less at Zodi's.
Yes, Zodi serves you better every way.
What do I have for my Dudley? Prime variety, Dudley. It's like 4 cans of beef, 4 cans of chicken, and 4 cans of liver-flavored dog food. Prime variety, Dudley. See? You get 4 beef, 4 chicken, and 4 liver-flavored dinners, all in a large-sized box.
Prime variety. Beef, chicken, and liver flavors in 1 box.
Looking at sports. In Monday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers upset the Los Angeles Rams 16-0. The 49er defense bounced Rams quarterback James Harris all over the backfield, sacking him for losses 10 times. San Francisco quarterback Jim Plunkett found Willie McGee in the end zone for one score in the third quarter and shortly afterwards connected to Tom Mitchell for another. The 49ers closed out the scoring with a field goal also in the third period. The forecast is for near-perfect baseball weather this afternoon in Cincinnati as the Reds host the Philadelphia Phillies in the third game of the National League playoffs. The Reds won the first 2 games of the best-of-5 series in Philadelphia. Game-time temperatures are expected to be in the upper 60s, and there will be sunny skies at Riverfront Stadium. The Reds will have 15-game winner Gary Nolan on the mound. The Phillies will rely on Jim Cott to keep them from being eliminated. The New York Yankees host their first playoff game tonight in remodeled Yankee Stadium. The Yanks and the Kansas City Royals are locked in a 1-1 tie after 2 playoff games in Kansas City. The Yankees pin their hopes today on 17-game winner Doc Ellis, formerly of Pittsburgh. The Royals will be going with Andy Hassler, an ex-California Angel, who put together a string of 18 straight losses late last season and early this year. His record on the year, this year, is 5 wins and 12 losses. The weather forecast: low clouds or fog overnight and early Tuesday morning. Hazy sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday. Fair Tuesday night, a little warmer Wednesday. The overnight lows near 60. High Tuesdays in the low 80s and Wednesdays in the upper 80s. And that's the sign-off edition of Eyewitness News. Len Beardsley reporting.
Julie Grayson is concerned about prices and quality.
Ralph's goal is to bring you top quality meats at the right price. That's why Ralph's has introduced new Golden Premium Quality controlled meats featuring USDA choice beef exclusively. And Ralph's guarantees you satisfaction or your money back.
Try Ralph's new Golden Premium Meats and then call Julie Grayson with your comments and suggestions.
I made a mistake last fall. I thought the flea season ended when summer ended. It didn't. First Duke got fleas, then my family got fleas. In fact, my home had a case of flea festation. We've got the answer this fall. Sergeant Century 4 collar. Sergeant's invented the flea and tick collar, and Century 4 gives long-lasting protection. Even kills ticks.
This fall, protect your whole family from flea festation with Sergeant's Century 4 collars.
I'm not going to Orbax anymore. Sure, they've given me the fashion, the dazzle, and it was worth the drive, but I'm not going to Orbax anymore. Orbax has come to me.
And Orbax has come to you. It's in the Glendale Galleria. To celebrate, all Orbax have grand opening specials like ladies' imported leather shoes and handbags at 30% off. Come to the grand opening, but you don't have to go all the way to Orbax because Orbax has come to you.
Orbax, you'd follow me anywhere.
These 40 cars are carrying only 60 people. People who, instead of wasting time, money, and gas, could all be riding on this one bus. Mass transit saves time, money, energy, and cuts down on air pollution. Your lung association considers that a matter of life and breath.
I really love it when someone tells me about the sky and the sun and airplanes and puppy dogs. It's nice to have someone help me see all these things.
I'm Joe Campanella. The Blind Children's Center can use a little help. Please send your donation to help a blind child see a little better today.
This computer understands Spanish. It helps locate new rewarding opportunities for SED and the Spanish-speaking community. SED, a dynamic national organization, is giving leadership and direction to the Spanish-speaking community, providing meaningful training and jobs, and working in partnership with business and industry for a better tomorrow.
Many people have legal problems, but don't have a lawyer and don't know where to turn for advice. It could happen to you. Help can be just a phone call away if you call the Lawyer Referral Service in your area. Your first visit with a participating lawyer is at a set, reasonable fee, and sometimes one visit early enough is all you need. Check the yellow pages and find out how Lawyer Referral, sponsored by your state or local bar association, can work for you.
Looking for a place to live? The city of Los Angeles wants you to know that you can live wherever you want, regardless of your race, religion, marital status, sex, or nationality. And that's the law. Selling or renting a place to live? It's your responsibility to provide equal housing opportunities. Housing discrimination. It's not even for the birds. For more information, call the Fair Housing Congress at 299-4424.
Channel 7, KABC TV, Los Angeles, owned by American Broadcasting Companies Incorporated, with studios and executive offices at ABC Television Center. KABC TV operates on Channel 7 by the authority of the Federal Communications Commission. Be with us tomorrow on Channel 7 when we return to the air at 6 a.m. with Real Estate for the Consumer. In the meantime, we invite you to tune to KABC Radio, 79 on your AM dial for The Ray Bream Show. And now, with the playing of our national anthem, this is Len Beardsley bidding you a good morning for the entire staff of KABC TV.